Hi, this is Melinda, Miss Melinda, and I'm continuing teaching linguistics. So we're doing phonetics tonight. We're doing phonetics tonight. So we're doing phonetics tonight. The larynx the larynx, known as voice box, is cartilaginous structure in the trachea responsible for phonation. The vocal folds cords are held together so that they vibrate, or held apart so that they do not. The positions of vocal folds are achieved by movement of the arytenoid cartilages. The intrinsic laryngeal muscles are responsible for moving the arytenoid cartilages, as well as modulating the tension of vocal folds. If the intrinsic laryngeal muscles are responsible for moving the arytenoid cartilages. The intrinsic laryngeal muscles are responsible for moving the arytenoid cartilages, as well as modulating the tension of the vocal folds. If the vocal folds are not close or tense enough, they will either vibrate sporadically or not at all. If they vibrate sporadically, it will result in either creaky or breathy voice, depend on the degree. If do not vibrate at all. Page 2. Larynx, which is for phonetics, linguistics. Larynx, continued. If do not vibrate at all, its result will be voicelessness. In addition to correctly positioning the vocal folds, there must also be air flowing across them, or they will not vibrate. The difference in pressure across the glottis required for voicing is estimated at 1-2 centimeter H2O. The pressure differential can fall below levels required for phonation, either because of an increase in pressure above the glottis, supraglottal pressure. The subglottal pressure is maintained by the respiratory muscles. Supraglottal pressure, with no constructions or articulations, is equal to about atmosphere pressure. Okay? So linguistics, larynx, continued. However, because articulations, especially consonants, represent constructions of the airflow, the pressure in the cavity behind those constructions can increase, resulting in a higher supraglottal pressure. Now we're on lexical access. Lexical is under phonetics for linguistics. You wouldn't believe how many words there are for phonetics. Yeah, we're only teaching a little bit more for the night. Lexical access linguistics. According to the lexical access model, two different stages of cognition are employed. Thus, this concept is known as the two-stage theory of lexical access. First stage, lexical selection, provides info about lexical items required to construct the functional level representation. These items are retrieved according to their specific semantic and syntactic properties, but phonological forms are not yet made available at this stage. Second stage, retrieval of word forms, provides info required for building professional level representation. And then we just have phonetics. So phonetics is, I'm trying to keep myself down where my head can. So phonetics. Phonetics is a branch, linguistics, that studies, I'm trying to do this without my glasses, that studies human, you got to put your glasses on. Okay. Phonetics is a branch of linguistics that studies how humans produce and perceive sounds, or in the case of sign language, the equivalent aspects of sign. Linguists who specialize in studying the physical properties of speech are phoneticians. The field of phonetics is traditionally divided into three sub-disciplines on questions involved, such as how humans plan and execute movements to produce speech, articulatory phonetics, how various movements affect the properties of the resulting sound, acoustic phonetics, or how human converts sound waves to linguistic information, auditory phonetics. Traditionally, the minimal linguistic unit of phonetics is the phone, a speech sound in a language which differs from the phonological unit of phoneme. The phoneme is an abstract categorization of phones, and it is also defined as the smallest unit that discerns meaning between sounds in any given language. Phonetics deals with two aspects of human speech. Production, the ways humans make sounds, and perception, the way speech is understood. The communicative modality of a language describes the method by which a language produces and perceives languages. Languages with oral, ORAL-AURAL, oral modalities, such as English, produce speech orally and perceive speech orally using the ears. Sign languages, such as Australian Sign Language, Auslan, and American Sign Language, where am I at? I lost where I'm at. Okay, American Sign Language, ASL, have a manual visual modality, producing speech manually. Where am I at? Producing speech. Now I lost my place. Producing speech manually, using the hands. I'm reading out of the wrong end of my glasses. And perceiving speech visually. ASL and some other sign languages have in addition a manual dialect for use in tactile signing by deaf-blind speakers, where signs are produced with the hands and perceived with the hands as well. Language production consists of several independent processes which transform a non-linguistic message into a spoken or signed linguistic signal. After identifying a message to be linguistically encoded, a speaker must select the individual words, known as lexical items, to represent that message in a process called lexical selection. During phonological encoding, the mental representation of the words are assigned their phonological content as a sequence of phonemes to be produced. The phonemes are specified for articulatory features which denote particular goals, such as closed lips or the tongue in a particular location. These phonemes are then coordinated into a sequence of muscle commands that can be sent to the muscles, and when these commands are executed properly, the intended sounds are produced. We'll go ahead and finish this first page for phonetics. These movements disrupt and modify an airstream, which results in a sound wave. The modification is done by the articulators with different places and manners of articulation, producing different acoustic results. For example, the words tack and sack both begin with alveolar sounds in English, but differ in how far the tongue is from the alveolar ridge. This difference has large effects on the airstream and thus the sound that is produced. Similarly, the direction and source of the airstream can affect the sound. The most common airstream mechanism is pulmonic, using the lungs, but the glottis and tongue can also be used to produce airstreams. Language perception is the process by which a linguistic signal is decoded and understood by a listener. To perceive speech, the continuous acoustic signal must be converted into discrete linguistic units such as phonemes, morphemes, and words. To correctly identify and categorize sounds, listeners prioritize certain aspects of the signal that can reliably distinguish between linguistic categories. And I'm stopping there. Okay.